Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through some player props I like on Prizepicks for the Week 10 NFL slate. I have two picks I want to share with you guys for this week's for NFL. We're going to talk through these two plays. We're going to share why I like them. Before we do though, as always, make sure you guys hit that like button down below if you do enjoy these Prizepicks videos. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet, and if you are new to Prizepicks, if you have not signed up for Prizepicks yet, get signed up over there. Use promo code NOAH. When you do sign up with my promo code, you will get your first deposit matched up to $100. So we're going to talk through our two picks for this week. I have a fantasy score prop that I like this week, and then I have a reception prop that I like. Two picks to give out in this video. I will have some more plays this week provided over on Patreon. So if you guys do want more Prizepicks plays from me, as always, I provide those on Patreon. You can check that out. Link down below in the description. Every play that I do provide on Patreon, I give a full write-up for each play I provide over there. NBA, NFL, providing picks over there daily. Also, I do provide DFS content as well for on Patreon. So if you play NBA DFS, if you play NFL DFS, I provide player pools, core plays for both DraftKings and for Yahoo. Also, I have a Discord chat that's available for Patreon members. So a lot of stuff goes up on Patreon each day. If you're interested in any of that content, check it out. Link down below in the description. But the two picks I like for this week, we'll start off with the fantasy score prop. We're going to talk about Justin Fields. So this week, Justin Fields, his fantasy score projection is set at 19.5. I like the over here, and I know this is kind of a it's a guy that you wouldn't think taking an over on, because we've seen Justin Fields just be so bad this season, especially to start the season. But he seems to have really turned a corner lately. You look over his last 4 or 5 games, he's been racking up a ton of fantasy points. He's been throwing the ball more. He's also been running the ball a ton. And I do have his game log pulled up on my other monitor. So his last 4 or 5 games, 88, 82, 60, 178 rushing yards last week against Miami. He's also been throwing it a lot more. He's got 20 plus pass attempts now in 6 straight games. We saw, to begin the season, there was a game where against Green Bay where they were trailing and Justin Fields threw the ball 11 times. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case anymore. They're really letting Fields air it out. They're also letting him run a lot. They've been calling a lot of design runs for Justin Fields. And this matchup is about as good as it gets. The Lions have been one of the worst defensive teams in the NFL this season. They're giving up the most points per game. They're giving up just over 29 points per game. And they're also giving up a ton of fantasy points, a ton of passing yards, and a ton of rushing yards to the quarterback position. So far this season, in terms of passing yards allowed per game to quarterbacks, Lions giving up the 4th most passing yards to quarterbacks. They're giving up the 2nd most rushing yards, and they're giving up the 3rd most fantasy points. Also, the Bears have a pretty high team total this week. Out of all the Sunday games, they have the 3rd highest team total, only behind the Chiefs and the Dolphins, and I guess the 49ers as well. But that's the Sunday night game. So of all the Sunday afternoon games, they pretty much have the 3rd highest team total behind the Chiefs and Dolphins. Over a 25 implied team total for the Bears this week. They're expected to put up some points, and we know Justin Fields a lot of times is going to be, most of the Bears' offensive scoring is coming through Justin Fields. There's plenty of opportunities for him to get rushing touchdowns. Anytime they get near the red zone, there's always a chance they give a design run to Justin Fields. He can get rushing touchdowns. He's been throwing it a lot more lately, so there's definitely a chance he could get multiple passing touchdowns this week. I know his yardage props are not super high, but he's one of these guys that can just kind of do it himself. He doesn't have to have a huge passing game to get you 20 fantasy points, because he can run for 60, 70, 80 yards. He can get a rushing touchdown. I like this 19.5 fantasy score. I think this line could be a little bit higher, especially in this really, really good matchup where the Bears should be able to put up some points. And this game, it could kind of wind up being a shootout. Right now, this Bears-Lions game has a 48.5 total, which is one of the highest of all the Sunday games. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a little bit of a shootout here. Justin Fields has been playing so well lately. He's been running the ball a ton. Anytime you can find rushing quarterbacks, or anytime you can find quarterbacks with rushing upside, that just adds to their floor and their ceiling for fantasy, because getting those rushing yards, potentially getting those rushing touchdowns is so huge. So that's what I like as our first pick for this week, guys. Justin Fields to have more than 19.5 fantasy points. Kind of hoping for 150 yards and maybe 1 or 2 passing touchdowns, and then 60, 50, 60 rushing yards. Maybe he gets a rushing touchdown too. But there's a lot of ways for him to go over this fantasy score line. He could do it on the ground. He could do it through the air. He could do a little bit of both. A lot of ways for him to get 20 fantasy points this week. That's going to be our first prop, though. And then the second prop that I like to pair with that to round out our 2-pick entry, Allen Lazard, 4.5 receptions. I like Allen Lazard to have more than 4.5 receptions this week. You look over his last 5 games, he's only gone over this in 2 out of his last 5 games, but he has had at least 4 receptions in 5 straight games, so he's been getting pretty good volume. He's been the #1 target for Aaron Rodgers pretty much all season, And we've seen this Packers wide receiver core just be like so bad this season. Like they don't really have any good wide receivers. But Allen Lazard is one guy that Aaron Rodgers does trust. He's one guy that Aaron Rodgers will definitely target. And so far this season, Allen Lazard's averaging just over 7 targets per game. He leads the team in target share this season. And now they're going to be missing one of their other top targets in Romeo Doubs. Romeo Doubs already been ruled out this week, and he's got the second highest target share on the team. So without Romeo Doubs, we could maybe see Allen Lazard get like 9, 10 targets here. Last week against Detroit, Lazard got 10 targets, only had 4 receptions, which was really, really weird to see a guy get 10 targets and only have 4 catches. But if Lazard gets 8, 9, 10 targets this week, I think he's got a pretty good chance to get at least 5 receptions. And right now on DraftKings Sportsbook, this prop is currently minus 140 on the over. So this prop's pretty heavily juiced on the over. This might get bumped up to 5 on Prizepicks. I'm not 100% sure. But I do like this line at 4.5. We know that Allen Lazard is going to be Aaron Rodgers' top target. This is a game against the Cowboys where I think the Packers probably are going to be forced to throw. I mean, the Packers' offense has just struggled so much this season that they've pretty much been trailing in like every game they've played in. They've had to throw the ball a ton. Wouldn't be surprised if this is another game where they get behind and are forced to throw. And if Aaron Rodgers has to drop back 30-plus times, good chance you're seeing 7, 8, 9 targets for Allen Lazard, if not more than that. So I think he's got a good chance to come away with 5 catches. This play has pretty good odds on DraftKings Sportsbook, and I like it quite a bit. It's going to be our second play for this NFL slate to round out our 2-pick entry. And these are kind of some early picks I like, taking a look at the board on Saturday afternoon. I'm going to have some more plays posted, though, for this NFL slate. I'll either get those up either Saturday night, late Saturday night, or sometime early Sunday morning. I'll have more plays posted on Patreon, so if you guys do want more Prizepicks plays from me, check out the Patreon, link down below in the description. You can get all of my NFL and NBA Prizepicks plays, plus you get access to my DFS content, and you get in our Discord chat, all available for just $20 per month. Less than $1 a day gets you access to everything I provide on Patreon. So check that out if you are interested. Link down below in the description. But hopefully, guys, we can hit both these NFL plays, make a little bit of money this week, maybe make some money heading into next week. But wish you guys the best of luck. As always, if you're tailing, appreciate you watching. Hit that like button if you did enjoy. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And again, if you are new to Prizepicks, if you have not signed up for Prizepicks yet, get signed up. Use promo code NOAH. You will get your first deposit matched up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. But best of luck this week, guys. Thanks as always for watching the videos, for supporting the channel, and supporting the content. Appreciate you guys a ton. Hopefully, we make some money tonight, or make some money on Sunday. Best of luck this week, though. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.